People in Alamo are taking precautions ahead of possible severe weather.
Just to be on the safe side, so kind of protect the entrance of the house, and door, back door, front door, just as a safety precaution.
Agapito Salazar lives in Alamo. He says the sandbags helped during last year's March flood.
Keep the water from the front yard, front door, and also my back door. I had some sandbags, and they also stopped the water. Some did seep in with very, 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 very little water.
Also, Luis also lives in Alamo. He stopped by the Alamo Sports Complex to fill up his sandbags today. He says his home flooded last March. He doesn't want that to happen again.
I come here just to save my house because it's not even leveled properly. So I do have to put sandbags. I do have to put sandbags on it, like on the door, because last time water got in it.
He says he spent around $2,000 to repair his home.
All our materials, like wood, got rotted away, and we had to replace everything. So yeah, that's why I'm grabbing sand right now. And right now, it's not even my day off.
The Alamo Fire Chief says preparation is key.
We're getting ready to start hurricane season. So we're not really promoting the public to go out and wait for there to be an actual hurricane in the Gulf. If your local municipalities, your local public works departments are providing, your cities are providing sandbags, we encourage people to take advantage of that.
Sandbags isn't enough. The Alamo Fire Department says it's important that you stack them right in order to keep the water out.
We want them to plaque the sandbags laying down, kind of like on a flat surface, and we want to make sure that we don't have the sandbags where the seams are going to line up. We want the seams to kind of be offset, kind of like at a brick house.
Salazar says preparing early can make all the difference.
If they don't get prepared, and then it's on them.
Armando Gomez, Channel 5 News This Morning.
For 12 Valley students.
Go ahead and open the envelopes and
College just became a little more affordable. Emily Corona thought she was walking into another interview. Instead, the Harlingen High School senior walked into a surprise.
I'm overjoyed.
Corona is one of 12 Valley High School seniors who just received a more than $50,000 college scholarship. The scholarship is through the Texas National Bank's TNB Foundation. Just minutes before the big reveal, she had no idea.
When I walked in and we were getting seated, I was like, "This kind of weird that the news is here." It was like, well, maybe they're touring the new building or something, so I had no idea.
We were asked to pretend we were interviewing someone from Texas National Bank about a building remodel. Then, the big surprise. For Corona, the moment meant more than just money for college. It was a recognition of everything she's overcome.
Because I grew up myself with divorced parents, and it was definitely a challenge living in two different households and, dealing with school, curriculums, keeping up with grades and things like that.
Now she's heading to UT San Antonio to study law, with hopes of one day becoming a family law attorney representing children, a dream inspired by her own experiences inside a courtroom.
I saw the difference that these people are making in the lives of children and families, and I want to be there to help lift some of that weight off of them.
More than 2,000 students applied for the scholarship in November. The group was narrowed down to 30 finalists before 12 were chosen.
we believe strongly in family and we believe strongly in community, and we wanted to give back.
For Emily's dad, watching her daughter receive the scholarship was an emotional moment.
And when she was getting ready to graduate this year, I told her, Mijita, you're like a cocoon. The butterfly's coming out. It's time for you to spread your wings and fly.
And as Emily gets ready to graduate later this month, she wants other students to know this.
No matter what, any storm you're going through, it will pass. You will make it through, and no matter what, always believe in yourself.
In McAllen, Karen Lucero, Channel 5 News. The sound of waves and the smell of water is something EJ Cuevas has known his entire life.
It's been in my blood since I was a kid, since I was a baby. So that's like what I grew up around, right?
Cuevas grew up around boats, and even after earning a college degree, he found himself returning to the family business, shrimping.
But my passion was always here. So It was pretty hard to convince me otherwise.
When shrimping season picks back up in July, his attention will be split between the water and the weather.
For the most part, when hurricane season comes about, we got to be more aware of that. So just keeping up with the news, NOAA forecasts, weather forecasts, and conditions offshore.
While many people track storms from land, shrimpers often monitor conditions from the Gulf, watching radars and staying in contact with crews offshore.
These guys sometimes, as funny as it sounds, they know about bad weather even before we do on land. So wherever they're at or however news whatever their information they're getting, sometimes they relay that to us, or they're already making moves. Hey, like we're gonna run south.
When conditions start to change, so do their plans.
Typically, if the boats are shrimping and a storm's gonna hit or they're aware of it, they'll make a move depending how close or how far it is.
For many crews, hurricane season isn't just about what happens onshore. It can determine when or if they head out to the water. Sometimes that means heading to the nearest safe port, even if it's far away from home.
For the most part, shrimp boats are shrimping. So, we could be in front of Corpus or Aransas Pass, so they'll go into Aransas Pass.
Once boats dock, they start preparing for the storm.
And once they're here at the dock, we tie them up and spider web them as best as we can. So you just see ropes all over the place. You see ropes tied to tree trunks. You see ropes tied to like anything that's secured to the land.
Ropes are tied to docks, trees, and even other boats. An effort to keep vessels in place when strong winds arrive. For Cuevas, he says he still remembers the days leading up to Hurricane Dolly.
So that was something pretty crazy to see. All the boats were rushing in. There was we were getting all the boats hunkered down. There was boats from out of town coming in.
Those memories are a reminder of just how quickly conditions can change and how much is on the line.
If we already have a thin margin of success as it is, like weather can really make you or break you. So that's another thing that's out of your control that you still got to be conscious about.
And as the 2026 hurricane season gets underway, Cuevas says his hope is simple.
I'm sure there's going to be some storms, but let's just pray that nobody gets hurt, nobody loses a boat. There's nothing major like that. Any major loss would be horrible.
In Port Isabel, Karen Lucero, Channel 5 News at 6.
Okay, our job is to get the latest information to you, information we receive from inside the storm, from the hurricane hunters who fly right into the eye. I traveled to Louisiana a few weeks ago to see what they do firsthand.
Yeah, so this is our WP3 rocket. So Orion, it's a hurricane hunter that we take right into the storm. We often get asked, are you going above the storm? No, we're going right through it. So this airplane flies at 8,000 to 10,000 feet. We go right through the eye wall.
This is John Zawislak's 11th season flying into hurricanes for NOAA, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. This year, he expects to fly into his 250th eye of the storm. Major Alex Boykin flies for the Air Force Reserve's 53rd Weather Reconnaissance Squadron. They're proud of their planes, too.
I've got 4 jet engines running my propellers, but us and NOAA, the P3, who also fly in with us, we use the turboprop because it can take the water, the extreme participation amounts in the eye wall and not flame out. If you took a turbofan engine, like on a 737 or a Learjet, things out here, you're going to flame that engine out and you're going to become a real quick, heavy boat anchor.
Sarah Olson is a flight meteorologist for the Air Force. She rides in the back, gathering information.
So we've got a bunch of different sensors on the plane. Our main one we use is called a drop sonde. I like to tell people it's kind of like a weather balloon in reverse. We drop about 20 of those in the storm at a time. It gathers important information on wind speeds, pressure, temperature, humidity, all of that information. It then comes through me where I QC it and then we send it off the plane.
That QC, or quality controlled data, is sent to the National Hurricane Center, where it's added to the computer models to improve the forecast.
It improves track forecasts up to 20%, so a pretty good shrink in that cone that goes out to the public, which obviously helps us determine who really needs to evacuate and then lets people stay that don't need to evacuate.
So we're in the cockpit of the WC-130. That's the Air Force plane that flies into these hurricanes. They'll fly 10 to 12 hours sitting in this seat, flying through the hurricane, all kinds of figures through the hurricane, and then back out. The guys are running the throttles, they're steering, they got the pedals, all these controls. They do that so the guys in the back, the guys and girls in the back, can collect weather data to send back to the National Hurricane Center to really better understand the storm, whether it's strengthening or weakening, everything we need to know about the storm. The NOAA P3 also has a tail Doppler radar.
So every time we pass through, the Hurricane Center can actually see how the eye wall is changing, maybe in a way that's degrading, other times maybe in a way that tells them that the storm could be strengthening.
As you might expect, it's not always smooth flying in hurricanes. Last year's Hurricane Melissa flight near Jamaica was one of the worst.
There goes the fence. Holy cow.
But we essentially flew through a mesovortice.
That's basically a tornado within the eye wall.
And we lost significant altitude. We thought we had over-G'd the aircraft. We had both positive and negative G's in a very short time span, losing about 1,500 feet. And what I would classify as extreme turbulence. Everything in the cargo compartment went flying.
And while everyone was okay, the storm did leave a mark.
One of the water bottles that was in one of the flight bags actually came up and smacked me in the face and gave me a black eye. So it's kind of a running joke that I got a black eye from a hurricane. But
the crew had to circle inside the eye for more than 30 minutes before finally finding a way out so they could go back home.
If I'm being really honest, I thought about my 2-year-old daughter. I was worried I was never going to see her again. It was the first time I've ever been in a storm environment where I thought I might not make it out of this.
Flying hurricane recon flights may be dangerous, but for these crew members, it's their passion.
Oh, I love my line of work. There have been flights I certainly come down, and I always say it's the silence of the radio on the drive home. Last year, Hurricane Melissa was the one where you kind of come down and you say, what just happened?
And then I've been through a hurricane in this thing, Hurricane Sally, as it was making landfall, as it was hitting my own house. So that was a unique feeling. So I know the impacts, and to be able to do something that directly helps our friends, our community, our families is really fulfilling.
As we head into the 2026 hurricane season, forecasters are calling for a slightly below normal season with 13 named storms, 6 hurricanes, and 2 major hurricanes. The development of a strong El Nino in the Pacific is the biggest factor in that forecast. The warmer than normal water in the Pacific changes the wind patterns enough to create strong shear in the Atlantic.